Hi friends, it's Sajid and today I just wanted to come with a quick announcement. I'm letting you all know that I am co-hosting a new Read-A-Thon that is taking place every month. This is called the Read-A-Theme Read-A-Thon. It's basically a weekend-long Read-A-Thon that is taking place on the first weekend of every month. And as the title of it suggests, each month we are selecting a different theme. So I was approached a couple weeks ago on Twitter by Jean from Such a Bookaholic, and she asked me if I would like to be a part of this, and I accepted because it sounded like a really awesome idea. So thank you very much to her and Joanna Souza, who are basically the spearheads of this Read-A-Thon. They are the ones who created it. And together we will also be co-hosting along with Sabine from Sabine's Book Nook, Jay from Captured in Words, and Stephen from Alf Books. Some of them also have announcement videos up, so I definitely recommend that you take a look at them as well, because they might have mentioned some bits and bobs about the Read-A-Thon that might have slipped my mind. So anyways, the first round of the Read-A-Thon is taking place this weekend. It's starting Friday and ending Sunday, I believe. And the theme for this first round is quick reads, so basically books that are under 300 pages. The Read-A-Thon is still very much in its conceptualization phase, so we don't have a set way of doing things as yet, but as time goes along, we eventually will. So this weekend, there are no challenges and anything really that would put much pressure on any readers. It's just quick reads, so you pick some books that you think would go along with the theme and you read them. That being said, there might be some stuff going on our social media outlets such as Twitter sprints and stuff like that, so if you're interested in that as well, I will have everything linked down below. Anyways, I was supposed to do a TBR for this, but the thing is that this Read-A-Thon is sort of intersecting with another Read-A-Thon that I'm taking part in, which is the Hot and Spicy Read-A-Thon. So I'm actually just going to be counting the books that I'm reading for this one, because the books that I'm reading for that are relatively quick reads. If you're interested in knowing what I'm reading for the Hot and Spicy Read-A-Thon, I will have a link to my TBR video for that down below. But still, in the spirit of telling you about books, I figured instead of doing a TBR, I would recommend some of my favorite quick reads. So the first book I would definitely recommend is The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender by Leslie Walton. This one is not so much the story as it is the writing. It is just absolutely gorgeous, and it's the kind of writing that you crave. It's a magical realism novel that's set in the early 20th century and follows 3 generations of women, and the stories of these women itself is actually very fantastic as well. But if you're looking to read something with good writing this weekend that you can also consume in a short amount of time, this is definitely one of the best choices you could go with. I would also recommend We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. This one is a YA contemporary suspense novel about this girl named Cadence who goes to her family's private island and suffers an accident there. She doesn't really remember what happened on the day of the accident, and 2 years later she returns to the island and she's sort of putting the puzzle pieces together and trying to figure out what happened, and when she does, it's like freaking mind-blowing. This book is obviously very suspenseful. It will keep you on the edge of your seat until you've finished it. The next book I have to recommend is The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian by Sherman Alexie. This is the story of a Native American boy living on an Indian reservation in Spokane, Washington. It's basically about him sort of just trying to find himself in different communities. Within his own community, he's seen as a bit of an outcast, and then there's the fact that he attends school in a white community outside of his own, so he's just trying to fit in and trying to find where he belongs in the world. The writing in this book is very simple and very easy to consume, and there are also a bunch of really cool illustrations. Let me see if I can find one. So like that. So it's definitely a very fast-paced read, and if you're into stuff like this, definitely consider picking this up for the Read-A-Thon. I would also recommend Lost and Found by Brooke Davis. This one is an Australian adult contemporary, and it follows this little girl whose mother abandons her, so she's then kind of taken under the wings of these two older people in their 80s, and they go on this road trip across Australia to help this girl find her mother. I mentioned this in my July wrap-up, and I didn't particularly like it that much. I felt like at some points it was a bit cheesy and the characters weren't all that well developed, but the writing in here is really good and the story is extremely fun, and you can definitely sit down and read this in like 2 or 3 sittings. And the final book I must of course recommend is Written in the Stars by Aisha Saeed. As most of you all know, this is the only book that I've ever read in one sitting because it was just so freaking fast and good and amazing. It's basically about this American girl whose parents are from Pakistan, and they are not really pleased with the way that she's living her life, so they decide to take her back to Pakistan under the pretense that they are going to reconnect her with her roots. But when she's there, she realizes that they actually plan on marrying her off to some guy she doesn't know and leaving her there. So we follow her while she's trying to get out of this arrangement, and it is I wasn't expecting this book to be so suspenseful. It kept me on the edge of my seat for 5 hours. I could not put this book down until I was finished with it. I highly recommend this book if you have it on your shelves, or if it's at your library, or if it's like at your friend's house and you have to go over and take it with or without their permission. I'm not encouraging anybody to steal, but do what you can to get your hands on a copy of this book, because it is amazing and definitely a perfect choice for this readathon. So that's going to be it for this video. In the comments down below, let me know if you are taking part in the readathon. If you are and you decide to do a TBR video, make sure to send me the link to that at books_social on Twitter, and I will take a look at your video. Also in the comments, let me know if you've read any of the books that I talked about today, and if you'd like to share some of your favorite quick reads down below to maybe help other people get some recommendations for the readathon, definitely do that as well. So that's it for now, y'all. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day, and until next time, inshallah, keep reading.